Welcome to my trading ideas for Bitcoin and Phantom. Without wasting any of your time, we are going to dive straight into it, guys. What we can see on Bitcoin is that so far my weekly projection has been playing out to a T. On Monday, I told you guys that over the weekend we formed a lot of liquidity beneath the low over here and also beneath these equal lows right over here. I told you guys so that we could not trust this pump over here and this second pump over here due to the fact that they occurred over the weekend. And indeed, on Monday, we saw a dump towards that liquidity pool. Now, so far, the price hasn't moved that much this week. So I'm still expecting big moves to occur today, tomorrow, and on Friday. Now, personally, the only way that I'm interested in trading Bitcoin is to wait until Bitcoin takes out the liquidity beneath these equal lows over here. And then right beneath those equal lows is where we have this pretty strong demand candle right over here. Now, why is this such a high probability demand candle? There are several reasons for that. First reason being is that when we zoom into this demand candle, is that right after that this demand candle formed, we pushed towards the upside, we broke structure over here, and while getting the push towards the upside, and that one is very important, we can see that we put in a bullish fair value gap right above the demand area. So by getting that break of structure and forming that bullish fair value gap, we are already ticking 2 out of the 5 requirements. Now the third one that we can see is that while forming this demand, we swept a whole lot of liquidity beneath the lows over here, as you can see. So we engineered liquidity beneath this low and we engineered liquidity beneath the low over here. While forming that demand, we were purging that liquidity pool that was resting beneath those lows. And that is a very important requirement in order to get a high probability demand area. You always want to see a high probability liquidity sweep while the demand is being formed. Now the fourth requirement, which is being formed as we speak, is the fact that we have this draw on liquidity aligning with that demand area, aka these equal lows over here that I marked out are acting as a beautiful inducement right above the demand area. And we can never ever trade a demand area if we have not seen an inducement that is being formed above the demand. So we have that inducement, we have the bullish fair value gap, we have the bullish liquidity sweep and the bullish break of structure. And now the fifth requirement is being formed onto the daily. What we can see on the daily is that we form this massive wick towards the upside, and we know that these wicks, guys, they tend to get filled at least for 50% and usually they also get filled for 100%. So when I start marking out this wick over here, we have 2 beautiful draws on liquidity, we have a beautiful POI. Now the only issue here is that Bitcoin is a bit in a local downtrend over here. We can see that we are forming lower lows and lower highs over here. Now in order to hop into a trade, I have a very clear trigger. I want Bitcoin to first purge this liquidity pool into that demand, and afterwards I want Bitcoin to give me a sign of strength by getting a break of structure like this, or by getting a break of structure like this, by breaking above this high, for example, that is going to bring us to that lower low compared to the low that brought us to this high. Now, if I'm getting this break of structure, after tapping into that demand area, I will be able to long the pullback on Bitcoin to target at least new weekly highs, but eventually I'm probably going to target a lot higher because my higher time frame bias on Bitcoin is very bullish and I'm expecting new all-time highs in Q4. So I can extend this target all the way towards brand new all-time highs for Bitcoin, or at least we can take out last week's high right over here, and that gives me an extended target of approximately 4.4 RR. Now for Chainlink, I shared this chart the other day as well onto Twitter, and when I shared this chart, Chainlink was still trading all the way over here at the top. And I told you guys that I really like the structure, but that I want Chainlink to purge some sell side liquidity first before I start to become interested in potential longs. Now we can see that also after posting that projection onto Twitter and into my free Discord server, we can see that Chainlink took a dump to the downside as well. Now, we are currently mitigating those very important liquidity pools. All that we have to do now is to wait for a major sign of strength. Now, what I really like about the current downtrend over here is that while forming this downtrend, we are constantly seeing these fake breakouts occur towards the upside. And we know that while getting these fake breakouts towards the upside, what is constantly happening is the fact that people see this fake breakout, they think that it's actually a valid breakout. So what do? They start breakout longing the price of Chainlink targeting higher levels. So by breakout long the price of Chainlink and targeting higher levels, they are constantly engineering liquidity beneath the lows over here, which is why I really like this slow grind to the downside, where we are constantly taking out those lows, in which a lot of people are constantly longing the bounces, but every single time that they long the bounces, they're getting wrecked every single time. Now what I want to see over here on Chainlink is a final liquidity sweep, because what we can see is that over here we are getting kind of a valid break of structure, but often in these slow grinds down, the first valid break of structure turns out to be a trap to engineer even more liquidity over here. So what I'm waiting for is for price to mitigate this final liquidity pool over here. Then I want a break of structure. When I get the break of structure, I will long the pullback and I will target new weekly highs and eventually higher targets for Chainlink. If I get a scenario like this, guys, alongside the higher time frame narrative and bias that I explained at the beginning when I open up this chart, we have ourselves a very high probability long position, which also offers, as you guys can see, a beautiful RR towards new weekly highs of approximately 4.2. So what we can see is that we have the higher time frame alignment over here, which is looking extremely clean, right? We have these equal lows, then we sweep and then we mitigate. Then while mitigating it, we are getting this beautiful local liquidity sweep over here. All of this price action over here occurs while tapping into this high probability demand area. You can see the liquidity sweep, you can see the break of structure, you can see the inducement that is being formed with these equal lows, high probability demand that offers a bounce. That bounce over here offers a valid break of structure over here, and after getting that valid break of structure, we start engineering liquidity beneath this low and also beneath this low over here due to this fake break of structure and due to this fake break of structure over here. Then we start mitigating that liquidity pool, and while you mitigate that liquidity pool and you have the higher time frame alignment, all that you have to wait for is lower time frame price action to give you the confirmation and the trigger to start building your long position. Now the trigger is very simple: a sweep of this liquidity followed by a break of structure followed by a higher low. Within that higher low we are going to position ourselves and we are going to target brand new weekly highs and eventually higher targets for the Chainlink price. And to those that don't know yet, I also run my own Discord server where we also have a very big free section where there's a lot of content available for you guys as well. And within this Discord server, I will also notify the members as soon as I enter a trade. The Discord link can be found in the description down below, and I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, make sure to smash up the like button, and I'll catch you guys on Friday's video. Ciao, ciao!